No time for a martini, remain standing. It's a Thrifty Quickie on Mid-Century Wasted. Welcome back to my savers in Huntington Beach, California. We are in the Pyrex aisle again, and today we're starting with a piece of Federal glass for $7.99. I did not get that. I'm not an expert in Federal or, see, this is glass bake or glass bake. Pyrex is definitely my wheelhouse, so I put those back because I just don't know. That little green dish is still there. The yellow Pyrex from the day before is gone, but here's this lovely, absolutely destroyed lime green Pyrex for $6.99. No, thank you. Gonna have to put that back. Here's a really fun dinosaur bank that I was looking at because I was considering getting it for my youngest. He's a dino fan. Ultimately, I thought $7 was a little much, but I might go back and see if it's there on half price day. This giant glass platter was worth a glance for $9.99. It was definitely modern, so I left it. This shiny lusterware looking bowl was $7.99. That's not really my jam either, so I left that one behind. Here's a random ceramic boot for $6.49. What is this for? I just don't even know. Looked like it was a hand-painted ceramic thing, but they just painted it all white. So why? I don't know. This was a modern Star Wars mug, but my kids are Star Wars fans, so I gave that a look. I was looking at these chess pieces to try to figure out if they were old, but they were very plasticky, so I don't think they were. And then here's a little like tequila set, I think. The case was leather. It was like a painted leather, so I thought that was interesting. And I almost got these cups, this bag of cups. I don't know if they're egg cups or what they are, but I think they were all handmade ceramic animals as egg cups. I'm not totally sure. It didn't have a maker mark on it, but it did have a signature. Now these were kind of sad. These Napco bride and groom were in a bag. It was $6.99 with some other things, and I was really looking at it and I was getting excited, and then I noticed it was broken. The girl, her flower was broken in her hand. Like, I figured it had to be, right? In a bag like that, had to be broken. This speckled bowl caught my attention, and then it was stupid Rachel Ray melamine bowl. I thought it was a vintage one. She totally tricked me, that bitch. This cup was absolutely beautiful. It was opalescent. It was blue. It had some gilding gold detail to it, and I loved it. But at $5.49, and I couldn't figure out a maker on it, I had to leave it behind, but I kind of regret that. Now they just put out these Mickey, Disney, McDonald's glasses. I saw them on the cart coming out, but $5.49 each. Holy mackerel, that's expensive. This pottery piece was also $5.49. I guess $5.49 was just their happy number of the day. I admit I am not a fan of Rae Dunn, and this his and hers mug set was there. And do you see how the his is bigger than the hers? One of the many reasons I hate them. Now here's the cart of fresh merchandise, and they do let you pick through it at the Savers, which is nice. These Tupperwares caught my eye, but I will let you know that Tupperware, vintage Tupperware, is one of the remaining categories of vintage kitchenware that I just don't really know anything about. If anybody has any tips about that, let me know in the comments below. I liked the design on these. I was checking them out. It was a set of 8 for $8, so that was a good price, but I think they were modern. And then these aluminum cups, I was confused about if those were modern or vintage as well. This set of vintage strawberry plates caught my eye. It was $5.99 for 4, and they were Homer Laughlin, but dealing with plates right now, just, it doesn't sound good. Here were also a couple of restaurantware bowls that were kind of nice, but $5 for the pair. No thanks. I thought this painting was very interesting. It looked like it was signed by somebody named April, and it may have had a little bit of age to it. I was thinking maybe like 80s, 70s. So it wasn't really my style, so I put it back. Lord knows I have enough artwork as it is. These were definitely modern, but I do like the sculptural way that they look. I have something similar that I got from Target a while back. They're supposed to look like those Sea Jerry sea urchin sculptures. Do you know what I'm talking about? The ones that look like sea urchins. I've actually seen this globe here for a couple days, but this was the first time I really looked at it, and I saw that it plugs in. It's one of those light up globes. You guys, these are really cool, and they're sometimes worth a lot of money. So I kind of looked them up, and it's like the prices were all over the place, so I didn't know what to do. It's so big. I have no way to really sell it. It was only $8, but I put it back. I was probably making a huge mistake. So instead of buying the light up globe, I decided to just rummage through the boxes over here in kind of a junky aisle. That was for silverware. The other box, I couldn't really even get to it. This zebra African looking bowl was probably modern. I put it aside. I did like this little panda box. I thought it was kind of cute. It was $4.99. It said made in Poland on the back, which was a little unexpected. I didn't expect that. I don't know where I thought it would be made. Maybe Indonesia or something. And then it had this information about it on the inside too. So it's like somebody bought it as a souvenir and then never used it. I was checking out this floral vase, this sort of lusterware looking vase. If it had had a maker on the bottom, like a stamp that said made in Japan or wherever, then maybe I would have gotten it, but it was big and bulky and not something I wanted to mess with. Okay, we were really on a Ray Dunn roll here today. Bum. Why would anybody want a mug that said bum on it? I just don't understand. Ray Dunn mugs. They're so stupid. Here was a macrame plant hanging that was really tucked in behind all of the florals. It was modern. It wasn't like a good 70s handmade one or anything. It still had the original tags, and I was looking around for the price tag. It was $12.99. So I was like, yikes. But I thought somebody who might want it for themselves would buy it at that price. So I pulled it out and I looked at it. Obviously, it was in great condition since it was brand new. And sometimes I do this. Do you ever do this? Do you like restage the aisles so that people will find things? I'll pull stuff out and re-merchandise if I think it's something good that people should find. These candlestick holders said Mary Quaint at home. I did look her up. I think it was like one of those Home Shopping Network kind of things. I didn't want to mess with that. And then this cute little box. It was a hand-painted ceramic, but it was just kind of sweet. Now, I had never seen a clock with this many different cities on it before. It was $8.99 and it had military time, and I was trying to see the kind of age or if there's a maker to it. It looked older. It was really kind of neat, but it was just so big. If I had a space in an antique mall or something, I would buy stuff like this. This clock too, also just really big and heavy. I was also being like, why is this so heavy? Oh, it's a ceramic tile. So sometimes these things, I just have to pass them up because selling them online, it doesn't make any sense. It's too heavy to ship, too big. So I have to pass these things up. This Danbury clock, well, first of all, it didn't work very well, but it said Diary of a Madman engraved in the silver, and it said 2012 on it. So obviously it was newer. I was trying to open the drawer. It was missing the knob. So that was just a hard pass. This little choir boy was kind of cute only because he had a slingshot in his back pocket. Oh, and it was a bell. I picked it up and it rang and I was like, get away from me. Okay, so this beauty I actually did end up getting. I actually left it on the shelf for a while because I saw those chips on the bottom and I was just hemming and hawing about it. I don't know why. Sometimes takes me a while to mill things over, you know, but I did end up going back and picking it up and buying it for $7.49. Oh, also I did have a coupon again today, like always. And after doing some research, I do believe it's Murano, and I actually think it's attributed to Alfredo Barbini, the specific artist for Murano. So I think it was a really, really good buy. I gave this little stone cockatiel bird a glance, but it was totally broken on the back, and it was $6.49. That was too expensive anyway. So back to the shelf. Here are some mugs. Yes, I'm looking at mugs. These were some more Disney mugs. Like I said, we do get Disney stuff quite often. These looked a little older, made in Thailand, I think it said on these ones. They said part of the magic. They were Mickey and Minnie. They were cute, but no, I just can't get mugs. This lamp was quite something else. Cowboy Western gambling scene, but then I looked at it and they were playing checkers. I was expecting it to be poker by the way that they were dressed and acting. I don't know. This is a really weird thing. I did look at this little ceramic lamp also, but it was made in China. There was a little record player here, a little like children's one with a Santa Cruz sticker on it. Blake hates these types of record players, so there's no way I could buy that. Also, I went to the bag area, but this was actually the toy bags that I was looking through. I forgot to look at it yesterday, and sometimes they have playing cards like you see. So I didn't end up getting any of them, but it's always worth a look. Also, I was looking at the books. They moved the vintage books section, so it kind of threw me off, and they didn't have very many. I think they sort of reorganized the books. I did like the way the spine of this one looked. I don't know. I'm not familiar with these Jimmy Dale. It's probably like a Nancy Drew Hardy Boys kind of thing, I'm thinking, just based on the titles. They had a few of them, but no, I wasn't feeling it. Now, here's something you really literally never see me do in my normal shopping videos. Since these are just the Thrifty Quickies, you get to see me look for clothes. The only reason I was even looking at clothes today is because I had a 30% off coupon in my email, so I dove in and started looking. And I actually did find a vintage dress. It's probably 80s, just based on the way that it looks and feels. And very, very, very rarely I will pick up some vintage clothing. I know very little about it. I was just looking it over for damage, and it did have a little hole, like a little seam split, but I know enough to know that that's not a deal breaker, and the little seams can be resewn. I'm not good at sewing. I'm not a seamstress, but I did buy that. I know that the 80s style, very certain types of 80s styles are coming back, and I loved the color of this and the pattern to it. I thought it was very simple and classy and kind of timeless. I also bought this yellow tie-dye hippie dress for myself. I wanted something loose and flowy to wear around the house. Unfortunately, I had to return it because once I got it home, you could see absolutely through it completely and see every little nook and cranny and inch of my underwear. So nope, that had to go back. So this is it. This is my measly little savers haul today. Sometimes you fill a cart, sometimes you get 2 dresses and a bowl. I also went to an estate sale today, so I figured I would tack on at the end of this video and show you what I got there. First of all, I spent $35 total. It was the last day of the sale and they were bundling things. I got a good deal. I got a couple of ornaments. These, I don't know exactly where they're from, but she's got plastic legs in there. Nice eye makeup. I think this is an ornament. What, British soldier? Guard soldier? I don't know. These guys, their eyes open and shut. These little dolls, 2 of them. This whole box of wooden carved animals. This was marked $15 for the whole box. But again, everything was just sort of bundled anyway. It was at least half off, but it was really ended up being more than that. Some are broken, but because it was all bundled, I didn't really care. I'll probably pair some together, like do little lots of like, you know, 1 giraffe, 1 elephant, and 1 zebra in a lot. And, you know, kind of do it that way and sell them like that. And then my most favorite thing that I got, I believe these are antique daguerreotypes, if I'm saying that right. This one, just at first glance, it almost just looks like a mirror, but when you turn it just right, the guy appears in the image. And I think they're kind of spooky and kind of awesome. And they have come apart, the cases, but they are antique. I believe this type of photography is from the mid 1800s. Correct me if I'm wrong. I am a photographer, but I do not know everything about this era of photography and these antique collectibles. You can see it's got this little latch on it. Isn't that amazing? So there's that one. This one obviously is broken, but I wasn't gonna leave it. I think those are twins, just based on the way they're dressed and the way they look. I mean, either that or they're very close in age, but I believe they're twins. And I don't know, they have kind of an interesting ethnicity too, I believe. So I had to save this one. It was, I'm sure, basically free when you count the original prices of everything and then what I ended up paying. I mean, it was essentially just thrown in. I was thinking maybe somebody would want to decorate with it for Halloween. Being broken, it's actually a little more creepy that way. It was printed on glass. That's how these were made. The image was applied to the glass, and the glass itself is broken. So you can kind of see, if I go in front of the red here, you can see the girl on our right looking at it. You can see part of her face is missing. When you look through it, it's like you can see through it, sort of. So anyway, that one was kind of a bummer. But and then here's this one. I don't know if this is a daguerreotype. It might be slightly different, a little better technology, because obviously the image shows up a little bit better, or it might just be a newer version, and it does have some of the tinting on her cheeks and on the baby's cheeks. Again, this one had a case with this sweet bird's nest image embossed on it. This one also does have a latch that works. And lastly, probably my favorite piece. And you can see the original prices on here, but like I said, everything was bundled. I got everything for $35 total, so I thought that was a great deal. This is an antique wallet or billfold. So here's this piece, this accordion piece. And then here's where the billfold unravels. See, and you would put your money in there, and there's a little pocket here. I guess for coins, I'm assuming. Yeah, and then it just folds back up. And this is leather on the outside, and then the latch does work. So that's what I got from this estate sale. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.